Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to leverage our products that we've inserted into our shop page in order to build out our cart. Our cart is primarily comprised of two things. We have our cart icon with a number inside that tells us the quantity, and we also have the cart dropdown, which contains different items inside of it. As we add items, we'll notice that the numbers will increase as well as the total quantity if we add the same item. In order to build this, we need to take this product and actually transform it potentially into a format that this cart is able to take so that it can accurately account for the quantity. There's numerous ways to do that, but we'll talk about it in a little bit later. First, let's just initialize and set up our cart icon, and we can start with building out the dropdown as well. So inside of your project, I want you to go to your assets folder and add in the shopping bag SVG icon that I've included for you in your resources folder. So here you'll see what the SVG looks like. So what we want to do now is actually create a new cart icon component that is going to contain both the count of the cart items as well as the SVG itself. So let's make a new folder called cart icon. And let's add the relevant files. We need a cart icon.styles.sass, and we need a cart icon.component.jsx. Inside of the cart icon component, we need to import in our styles file, of course. And then we need to initialize the cart icon functional component. And then we just need to export default this cart icon. Next, what we also need is we need to import in the SVG. So as we did with our logo, we say React component as, and then whatever we want to call it. I'm going to call it shopping icon, and we want to import it directly from the file location. Once I have this shopping icon, now let's think about what our cart icon itself should return. We want to return back a div that contains both the SVG of the shopping icon and also a span that holds the actual number, which is the count of items we have so far. So let's initialize it as 10 for now. And what we also want to do is we want to make sure that the styling of this works so that the number overlaps with the shopping icon. In order to do that, we need to provide some class names that make these elements targetable by our CSS. So here I'm going to call this the cart icon container. I'm going to call this shopping icon with the class name of shopping icon. And as for the span, let's call it with a class name of item count. So now let's save this. And then inside of cart icon styles, I want you to paste in the icon styles file that I've also included in your resources folder. Now, once you've pasted this in, what we're going to do is we're going to add this into our navigation component. So here inside of navigation bar, what we want to do is we want to import in our new cart icon component. So let's just figure out where this could go. Let's say before the context. Let's import in the cart icon from our correct placement. Go up to the components folder. Inside of components, we'll go to cart icon, and then cart icon component. So as far as the cart icon itself is concerned, we want to place this inside of the actual options container because it sits right beside all of the options that we have. So here, this is actually one of those cases where you kind of want to think about the structure of what you have. We can place it right after our last sign-in link, like so. And then if we save this, we go to our application. What do we see when we refresh? There we go. There is our icon. So right now there's no interaction with it, but it's placed in the right place. One other thing that is different in our application and the final output is that there is this additional padding around the entire application. So let's also add that in. To do that, what we're going to do is go into our top level style sheet, which is our index.sass. And then inside of body, I'm going to add padding 20 pixels 40 pixels. So what this is saying is I want 20 pixels on the top and the bottom, and I want 40 pixels on the left and the right side. So now, there we go. We get a little bit of padding, so it looks a little bit better. After this, what we need now is to actually build the dropdown. So similarly, what I want to do is I want to go into my components and I want to create a new folder called cart dropdown. And inside of cart dropdown, I'm going to make both the relevant files, so the cart dropdown.styles.sass, as well as the cart dropdown.component.jsx. Inside, again, let's import our style sheet. Let's initialize the cart dropdown component, just the base scaffolding, and then let's export as default the cart dropdown. As for what we want to return, for now, let's just create this div. And inside of this cart dropdown, really all we need is, before we think about what's actually inside, let's just do a basic div. And let's give it a class name of cart dropdown container. We'll have some area here where we'll just make a temporary div just so that we hold a place. And let's just say that what this will contain is our cart items, for example. And then after that, we want a button that will allow the user to go to the checkout page, which is what we have inside of our final application. So we're just recreating this structure here. So this means that we need to import in the button component. So let's import in button from button.component. And here we'll just place the button, and inside we'll just say go to checkout, like so. So let's save this. And now inside, as you guessed it, with cart dropdown.styles, I've also included your final third style sheet for this video in your resources folder. So just take the cart dropdown style sheet, paste it in. Now, once we've pasted this in, what we need to do now is we need to move this into the correct place so that when we actually interact with it, we can see it. So the place that this needs to go is also into the navigation component, because it's essentially going to live relative to the navigation bar. So here, I'm also going to import in our cart dropdown from the components, and then the cart dropdown component. And where I want to place this is I want to place this outside of this actual options container. So all of these nav links, these are not important to me, but I still want this to be within the actual navigation. So here, I'm just going to add it right after. And now if I save this, and I go back to the application, if I refresh, we should see it appear right here. So that's good. This is what we're looking for. So we want to now add the functionality where we can toggle the actual showing of this cart. This is where I want you to make yet another context, because that context is going to contain the information regarding the items into the cart, as well as whether or not it's open or not. So that is another challenge I want to issue to you. I want you to create some way for us to be able to store the state of whether or not this cart drawer dropdown is open or not. And I want you to trigger it on click. So give that a try. Figure out how to create that context using the knowledge that we have so far, and then bind the ability to turn it on and off or hide and show this using that logic. So do that, and then join me in the next video where we'll do it together.